Freedom Weight Loss, the weight reduction program that allows you to enjoy food even more than before while you shed pounds. Carlos Canale, MD, a board-certified gastroenterologist practicing in California, has discovered that losing weight and keeping it down does not need to be a continuous torture, since there are wonderful principles that will help you to lose weight and maintain optimal health while you become free from obesity, extreme diets, and disease. Now let's listen to Dr. Canale as he teaches how to lose weight with freedom.
In the previous section, we learned a lot about what to eat. Now, we will see that there are certain foods that are not fattening. These are the foods that we find in nature and in their original state. Unrefined plant vegetable foods. Without added calories. They will not be fattening, and if you eat only these, you will lose weight. Now, what do I mean by unrefined whole plant foods? That means eating an apple, for example. An apple is not fattening. A whole baked apple is not fattening. Why? Because it has all the original components, including fiber, and it will satisfy hunger without introducing excess calories. A medium-sized apple has about 80 calories, but apple juice can be fattening. Why? Let me explain. How many apples can you eat at one time? When I ask that question, I get different answers, usually around 3, and you are satisfied. The same is true with oranges. A person can usually eat up to 3 oranges, rarely 4. Now, how many glasses of apple juice or orange juice can you drink in a summer day? We will probably say very easily 3 or 4. Some people even 5 or 6. Do you know that it takes about 3 or 4 oranges to make 1 glass of orange juice, which you can drink in a moment and without satisfying hunger? The calories in a glass of orange juice are the same as the calories in the oranges, in 3 oranges. Orange juice does not satisfy hunger, just adds calories. Why? Because oranges come packaged with fiber and other nutrients that produce satiety. In the case of orange juice, the juice has been extracted out of the orange and the fiber has been left out. So, when you drink that juice, it is not filling. It might satisfy your thirst, yes, and your taste. And there is nothing wrong with fruit juice. Fruit juice is not bad, but it is refined and has concentrated calories, and that is fattening. Another example, corn oil. Do you know how many ears of corn are necessary to make a tablespoon of corn oil? About 12. Now, who can eat 12 ears of corn? Probably nobody. And yet, 1 tablespoon of oil goes in easily, and you get a lot of the calories that you find in the 12 ears of corn. Let me think of another example. Oh yes, what about sugar cane? You know how many feet of sugar cane are necessary to get 1 teaspoon of refined sugar? About 1.5 feet. Now, if you get a hold of a piece of sugar cane, you can probably eat maybe 1 foot or 2 at the most. You cannot eat more because it has a lot of fiber. But in 1 can of soda, you can get up to teaspoons of sugar, which is the equivalent of the sugar found in 15 feet of sugar cane. Now, you can easily drink a soda, maybe 2, maybe 3, and you're going to consume in a short time all the calories in 45 feet of sugar cane. It is important then to avoid refined foods, which almost always have concentrated calories. The natural diet is a diet consisting only of plant foods. It will be easier to lose weight and keep it off if one leaves out all animal products like meat, beef, chicken, fish, turkey, dairy products, and eggs, for 2 reasons. First, animal products have no fiber, so they are not as filling. And second, their fat content is much higher. This is a very important part of the program. You do not absolutely have to do it, but it will help a lot. And it's not as hard as you may think. And once you make the decision, you will find a lot of help out there. There are many good vegan cookbooks, and on the website you will find over 100 vegan recipes. There is another reason why we include a plant food diet to lose weight. It is because it is physiologic. That is, our body functions better without animal foods. Our teeth are made to chew, not tear. Dogs, cats, and other carnivores have large pointed teeth that are good for eating and tearing flesh. Horses, on the other hand, which are vegetarian, have teeth that are not good to tear, but to grab and chew, and so do humans. Our incisors are good for cutting, and the molars are grinders. Also, the human gut is very long, about 20 to 25 feet long, and we need plant fiber to avoid constipation and colon cancer, which is twice as frequent in people that consume beef regularly. Raw food is the best. A raw vegetable salad, raw carrots, raw food, etc. But food can be cooked, and that is fine. Cooked food is processed. But there is a difference between processing and refining. Refining food alters the proportions of the different components of the original product, and many times removes fiber and other good nutrients. But processing, such as cooking, milling, grinding, etc., does not take away any essential components found in food necessarily. One good example is whole wheat flour versus white flour. Whole wheat flour is processed. It has been put through the mill, just like white flour, but whole wheat flour retains all the components of wheat. White flour, on the contrary, consists mostly of starch, while the fiber and wheat germ have been removed. That makes it more dense in calories and less nutritious and satisfying. Now, starch and white flour are not harmful in and of themselves, but they consist of empty calories with little nutrition and no fiber because the starch has been separated from the other natural components of wheat. This will make it easier to consume a lot of calories without relieving appetite, without filling you up, and the result will be weight gain. If you have tried whole wheat bread, you know that whole wheat bread is much more filling than white bread. That is why we need to eat whole and unrefined plant foods. Now, if you have been used to eating meat and dairy products all your life, you may think it impossible to make the switch. It is not that difficult. In any case, you have two options. One is to continue eating meat and dairy products, follow other aspects of the program, and avoid frying foods. Bake or broil your food. This way you will not add calories to the animal products which are already dense in calories. Now that is one option. Continue eating meat, but do not fry your food. And later you may decide to leave meat out of the diet altogether. The other option is to give up animal products and to adopt a vegan diet. This is the best option. There are two ways you can do it: suddenly or gradually. Each way has certain advantages. If you abandon animal products gradually, this will allow you more time to learn vegetarian cooking. Some prefer to start with a diet that allows dairy products, such as milk, cheese, eggs, etc. This is known as a lacto-ovo-vegetarian diet. And after some time, when they get used to not having any meat, they also eliminate dairy products from their diet and start with a total vegetarian diet, which is commonly known as vegan. However, when you decide to go directly to a vegan diet or start with a ovo-lacto-vegetarian diet, there is anyway a practical challenge, especially for men. What can you cook? If you are used to cooking with meat and animal products all the time, this may be difficult. But you can learn vegetarian cooking just like anything else. So, if you decide to make the change gradually, you can start having 1 or 2 days a week when you eat no animal products and prepare vegetarian dishes instead. And as you get more confident, you keep increasing the number of days with only plant foods until you are doing it 7 days a week. Now, if you decide to make a clean break and give up all animal products at once, it may be more difficult in the beginning, but in the long run, it will be easier. It is true that sudden elimination of all animal products from the diet has its drawbacks. The initial taste shock will be greater because you are used to the taste of meat. However, if you persist, after 2 or 3 weeks it will be easier, and in 3 to 6 months you will have forgotten almost completely the taste of meat and will not miss it at all. You will then be as happy or happier with plant foods than you were before with a meat diet. This change may be more difficult for people who are used to steak, especially men. But if you try the natural way, you will see that in 3 to 6 months you have established the new habit, and now you have freedom to lose weight eating the foods you like. The pleasure of eating will increase as your weight decreases. That was my experience. I was born and raised in Argentina and have lived in the United States for the last 27 years. I was used to eating steak or some form of animal flesh twice a day, and I used to think that if a meal had no meat in it, I had not eaten. So I had a diet based on meat, that is beef, chicken, and some fish. Mostly I ate meat, cheese, eggs, some vegetables, and dessert. But when I decided that I was going to quit eating meat, within 3 to 6 months I was as happy or happier than before, and my taste was satisfied even more with a vegetarian diet than with a meat diet. This is called training the taste buds. We are going to learn about that a little more later. This is a very important part of the program to lose weight naturally. Besides the initial taste shock with a sudden change to a vegan diet, there is also the sudden realization that you do not quite know what to eat or what to cook. You might decide to eat just donuts, ice cream, and M&Ms. That would be a vegetarian diet, wouldn't it? Well, ice cream has milk and eggs, so it is not really vegetarian. And also you would gain weight if you ate only donuts, ice cream, and M&Ms. You will be lacking important nutrients and your diet may be deficient. I recommend you get information about a sensible vegan diet. This is provided in some of the cookbooks that are available through our website. But when all of a sudden you're forced to cook without animal products, you will learn a lot faster than if you make a gradual change. This is what I call the sink or swim approach. What is the best way to learn to swim? Jump in the water. What is the best way to be a vegetarian? Just jump into vegetarianism. That is exactly what I did. When I decided to become a vegetarian, I was single. I had nobody to cook for me, and for the first month I had to eat at a hospital cafeteria in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, where I was training at the time. And the only thing I could eat was salad and crackers. Of course, after a while I learned how to find other vegetarian foods and my diet expanded. Not too long after, my mother came to visit, and since she was a vegetarian, my problem was solved. So, the sink or swim approach worked for me, and it can also work for you because you will learn faster that way. The other advantage of the sink or swim approach to becoming a vegetarian is that you will train your taste buds a lot quicker and will be able to enjoy a healthy vegan diet sooner by avoiding entirely all animal products from the start. There are many resources available for people that want to make the change. If you decide to do it, you certainly can. There are cookbooks, there is a vegan section in most large supermarkets. Talk to people who are on the program. As I said earlier, on our website www.freedomweightloss.com, you will find a whole section with vegan recipes. People ask, if you don't eat animal products, What can you eat? People that are used to the Western diet sometimes have difficulty realizing that there are so many good and tasty plant food choices that they don't know where to start. I will give you some examples of foods that you can prepare or eat. First of all, fruits such as apples, pears, grapes, etc. And it is okay to eat cooked fruit like applesauce or canned fruit. You have to make sure that it has no sugar or sweeteners, however. Remember to eat the whole fruit, not fruit juice, because fruit juice is dense in calories. Then we can also have vegetables such as tomatoes, lettuce, onions, garlic, celery, sprouts, Brussels sprouts, kale, spinach, cabbage, broccoli, potatoes, carrots, corn, popcorn, without butter, etc. Then come the grains like wheat, oats, brown rice, barley, rice, etc. Legumes such as beans, peas, lentils, garbanzos, soybeans, soybean products such as tofu, soy milk, etc. Nuts such as walnuts, pistachios, Brazil nuts, peanuts, and almonds in small amounts. Nuts have fat in them, and somebody may say that it is not good if one wants to lose weight. Well, most would say that if you don't eat any fat in your diet, you will lose weight faster. But don't we need fat? Yes, we do need fat. Now, there is fat in many products, but the plant foods that have the most fat are nuts, and that is the good kind of fat, which will help you avoid hardening of the arteries, heart attacks, and strokes. The best fat is found in walnuts and almonds, but peanut fat is also good if eaten in moderation. You may ask, are not nuts fattening? The answer is no. Nuts are not fattening unless you eat too many. In scientific studies, people who ate walnuts actually lost some weight. Why? Because calories on their own are not always what is most important. Nuts are not fattening even though they are dense in calories, and the same is true of olives. That is because both nuts and olives, even though they have fat in them, are satisfying and wholesome. So, if you eat nuts or olives in small amounts, maybe not more than a handful of nuts or a few olives a day, or both, a little bit at the beginning of each meal, you will not be so hungry and you will eat less of other foods. Then, eat half a handful of walnuts with one meal and a few almonds with the next meal. That will provide needed fats and help you to keep your weight down. We see then that there are a great variety of plant foods that can be eaten to replace animal products. Tofu products and soybeans are complete proteins that you can use if you're worried about not consuming enough protein. But this is not a problem with a vegetarian diet. I have not seen any protein deficiency in vegetarians, as long as they eat a variety of vegetarian food. But not just soybeans have protein. All vegetables have some protein, even potatoes, broccoli, etc. And if you eat a variety of food, including beans, nuts, grains, legumes, vegetables, and fruit every day or every week, you won't lack protein. But there are still people who worry about protein and calcium with a vegan diet. Let us look into this a little closer. Some time ago, a friend from Argentina, who is a physician, emailed us asking advice about diet. She had a 5-month-old baby, breastfed, plump and healthy. Her pediatrician had advised her to start feeding the child solid food and some chicken. Her advice was to continue breastfeeding, and when the baby turned 6 months of age, then slowly introduce it to a vegan diet. Her concern was how to replace the protein in chicken. The answer was, there is no need to replace something that was not supposed to be there in the first place. As we have already seen, humans are not designed to eat animal products. Our teeth and intestines are similar to those of vegetarian members of the animal kingdom. Eggs are designed to become chicks, and cow's milk was designed to feed calves, not people. What has happened is that we have been brainwashed into believing that we need animal protein and calcium to survive, to have good tissues and good bones. There is nothing farther from the truth than that. The truth is that in countries where the consumption of calcium from milk in the diet is the highest, there is the greatest rate of osteoporosis and hip fractures. You do not need calcium from milk to have good bones. In fact, there are millions that cannot tolerate cow's milk because they lack an enzyme, lactase. They cannot digest milk, so millions of people avoid milk and milk products, many of them being advised so by their physicians. And there is no evidence suggesting that their bones are any weaker than those of people that consume milk regularly. My own family has not consumed cow's milk since before our children were born. We also are vegetarian. My children are now 16 and 14, and they have big and strong bones. In fact, my son, my daughter, and I often snowboard during the winter months. Now, if you know anything about snowboarding, you know that there is a lot of falling down involved. And you need good, strong bones. I am 52 years old, and I have not had any animal products or calcium supplements. I have been snowboarding for 2 seasons now, and have fallen many times, but have not broken any bones. Do not worry about protein and calcium when you are on the natural diet. Now, what about additions to your food, such as margarine, peanut butter, mayonnaise, salad dressing, ketchup, etc.? Most of these are dense in calories and contain hidden sugar, so they are fattening. For example, a slice of whole wheat bread has only about 70 calories, but if you add margarine, it is now 130 calories. Margarine or butter does not fill your stomach, they just taste good. What fills your stomach and helps produce satisfaction or satiety is the slice of bread. Butter just makes it palatable. That doesn't mean you cannot eat vegetable margarine. You just have to be aware that margarine and almost any additional condiments will be dense in calories and will make it more difficult for you to lose weight. So you must keep those to the minimum or eliminate them completely. Another addition that most of the time has empty calories is salad dressing. Another example, a medium-sized baked potato may have about 80 to 100 calories. How many potatoes can you eat? Maybe 2, 3 at the most. So you could, with 300 calories, be satisfied just eating potatoes. But if you add butter or margarine and sour cream, you may have added over 200 calories to a single potato. So, if you are going to add anything to that potato, try to find something that is not high in calories and that it is filling. Add a little soy milk or canned tomatoes or something of the sort. One idea is to place baked beans on top. Baked beans are low in calories and are very satisfying. They help fill your stomach and produce that sense of satiety you are looking for, without the dense calories. Of course, beans are not fattening only when they are prepared without oil or lard. Refried beans are dense in calories because they have lard or oil. You can have a baked potato with baked beans without added oil, and you have a meal that is low in calories and very filling. And that will allow you to lose weight without being hungry. And that is exactly what you want. So, you need to learn how to cook low-calorie, tasty food that satisfies. Another example is popcorn. Popcorn is not fattening, it is low in calories. But if you add butter to it, it will be dense in calories. So, eat unrefined foods without calorie-dense additives. One more thing that helps is reading labels on food packages. You can learn about fat and sugar content and calories. Not that you need to count calories and get your calculator out every time you eat, but you will learn a lot and will be able to make rational decisions about what you should or can eat. I was amazed when I read on the label of a Mustard bottle and learned that it had 0 calories. Did you know that? Now you can go to Subway and ask for your veggie sandwich with mustard, no oil or mayonnaise, and you can have a very low-calorie lunch. Remember the carrot sticks. Now you know what to eat. In the next section, we will learn what not to eat.
We've reached the end of this segment of Freedom Weight Loss with Carlos Canale, MD. In order to receive all the benefits of the program, you will have to view it more than once, most likely several times, and then continue to watch it periodically. This way, you will grasp the concepts gradually, one by one, at your own rhythm. We hope that you will find in Freedom Weight Loss the best way to lose weight permanently. We wish you success as you advance on the way that leads to health and happiness. Perhaps you feel the need for more help. You can get books, audio or video cassettes, valuable books on nutrition, health, or cookbooks. Or you may be interested in helpful kitchen appliances that will assist you to cook healthfully. You might be looking for an effective and fun way to exercise, like the famous Rebound Air. Or you might be looking for healthy recipes or other healthy information. You can find all this and more on Dr. Canale's website, www.freedomweightloss.com. Or you can write to Freedom Weight Loss, P.O. Box 550, Denair, California 95316, or call 1-888-463-0264. Thank you, and may your efforts be rewarded with happiness and success.